Hello everyone, Sir Bucky here and welcome back to another episode of ASKA, Gates of Helheim, where it is the morning after our first winter invasion and, well, I won't spoil it for you if you didn't catch the episode, but it was an interesting one to say the least. For now though, the threat of invasion has come and gone, so I would like to switch gears and take a crack at something I've been saying I've wanted to do, I think, almost every episode since the first one, and that is finally, revamping the housing area here into something much better than this wonky collection of shacks on a muddy hill. We're here for the long run after all. It's time to stop surviving and start living, and what better way to live the Viking life than in a Viking longhouse? So that's the plan, but now for the problems we have to overcome to realize it. First up, this whole hilltop area needs a lot of work before we place down the longhouse. I think I see 3 separate heights between the cottages, and it's just an all-round topographical mess. The best and really only way I can think about doing this is relocating the central cottage here, which, well, there's no relocation option, so that's just a friendlier way of saying demolish the bloody thing and make everyone homeless for a day or so while I rebuild it nearby. And honestly, there's a lot of room back here behind the cottages, so I can just tidy up some of these stones and plop it down back here. But doing that will open up space for the longhouse because I do want it to occupy this very center area of the hilltop. I think that would look cool and imposing. But another small issue is the aforementioned wonky terrain. I am going to have to level out the hilltop before placing the longhouse, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's first get this cottage moved while daylight's on our side. That actually went up super fast. Also, I hope that my time-lapse works. So let's quickly go ahead and finish up by adding the 4 extra beds. Then while the builders deal with those, we can go solve the next problem. So here it is, problem number 2. This entire area used to have a small copse of birch trees, but now, well, yeah, they're all gone. So if we open the map and take a look right now, also if you didn't know, the more circular trees on the map shown here, they're the birch trees, and the more triangular ones are the fir trees. So we can kind of like use this to see where the next closest supply of birch would be. Now we set the carpentry area up here in the northwest, but it looks like on the other side of town by our first woodcutter, in fact, we can see another sliver of birch trees. So there are a couple of ways around this. I was thinking it could be fun to build a market and transport the logs that way, but honestly, the distance is so small, I feel it would be a bit of a waste. I do want a market. Maybe in the next episode we can make a little fishing community or something, but for today I honestly think the best solution in this case would be the simplest, and that is just switching the purpose of these 2 woodcutters and assigning an extra pair of hands to the warehouse. So this woodcutter right here that was doing the birch wood, it would just become a regular woodcutter with a focus on firewood. That way it can keep the coal maker fed and the iron industry up and running. Then we'll dismiss these 2 workers and assign them to the other woodcutter across the village. So let's rename this one to the birch woodcutter. Renaming buildings is actually something I always mean to do but never actually get around to, but it definitely makes assigning and reassigning people a bit easier. Then we'll just go into the tasks here and have them only working on the hardwood, and I guess thatch too. Thatch is always good to have. Right, that is the birch raw material production. Logistics wise, yeah, like I said, I'm just going to assign someone else to the warehouse here on the opposite shift. And as for who, Arv is kind of an uninspiring individual. And again, I know going into this that is not technically as efficient as the market, but again, like I can see the birch trees from here. I just think that's too short of a distance to worry about that level of logistics. But anyway, so now it's time to level the ground where the longhouse is going to go. As always, we want to take the height from the water well because losing that would suck. I think about there would be fine. That looks good. Then we want to level out the front, but we'll need to get rid of that patrol flag actually for a little bit. Okay, let's remind ourselves what we'll need. Yeah, so pretty intensive on the beams. We need 23. I'm curious actually how many we have stockpiled. we actually have exactly what we need. Let's go ahead and place this down. I don't want it to be as far forward as the cottages were. I would like a bit of breathing room between the door and the well, so maybe about here. That tree's in the way, 1 second. So maybe about here. All right, there it is. Or rather, there it will be. So while the builders get started on that, I want to quickly make sure that the birch logistics chain is up and running. And yes, cool. Hanson is out here working away. And over here at the carpenter, well, there goes a builder with a beam, so that's good. The workshop worker, however, is complaining about not having a draw knife, so I don't actually know why. Maybe the night shift person took it to bed with them. So I guess I have to quickly make one. Newt, replacement miner, is disturbing the creatures of the deep again. Oh, I know why. Just a second though, let me finish this bloom. So update 2 revamped the cave system and they're actually really cool now. And I did a video on this, so, you know, kind of silly for me to come here and forget to clear it out. Ooh, it's dark. Oh, thanks, buddy. So there are a lot more crawlers in the caves now, as well as these gross blocks that will allow them to keep spawning unless you destroy them. Now, from what I understand with the patch notes, destroying these does permanently clear the mine, and they don't respawn after a year like the mini-bosses do. And deeper in the mine, wow, it is really dark down here. I hope it's clear for you guys. But in the deep parts of the mine, there is now a larger boss chamber with, you guessed it, a mini-boss. This one doesn't drop dirt, blood, or an artifact, or anything like that, but it does drop a lot of meat, and it is a pretty cool fight. So let's go ahead and wake this guy up and then make them into soup. Such a cool fight, such a cool mob, like terrific. Kind of looks like the Queen Alien. With the cave now cleared, our miner can stop having heart attacks every time he comes down here. Also, I just got an alarm, but again, as always, I have the UI turned off, so I have no idea if it's a bear, a wolf, or a bunch of curious smokers. But let's grab this meat real quick and we can go take a look. Oh my days, it's a blood moon. Okay, let's figure out where it's coming from. All right, so the blood moon is over by Fort Ragnar. I don't really feel like the Bloodmoons are getting any harder than they've been. Maybe there's a population threshold that I haven't met. Good morning. Here is our builder bringing in the last wooden post for this part of the Longhouse. And good evening. Here comes the last part. Oi, wait, what are you doing? Oi, get back here with that. Why would you turn around when it was right bloody there? I swear to Odin, you have to watch these villagers like a hawk. Don't bloody wave at me. It's kind of janky adding this in. There we go. Ta-da! All right, let's go take a look at you. Oh, wow, that is so cool, though. All right, let's take a look inside. Honestly, well, it's not particularly long right now, but we can add extensions to it. Anyway, before I throw the beds in, there is something I want to try, and that is a weapon and tool rack. I read somewhere that sometimes villagers will pop their tools and weapons down here at the end of their shift. That allows other people to pick them up at the start of theirs. Then we'll need a fireplace. Now, I could cram people in here like sardines. I've seen people do that, but I really care about aesthetics more than anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and leave a 1 square space between each bed. I'm going to go warm up next door. So while I rest and warm up, let's take a look at how much lumber we have. I'd like to add at least one more extension this episode. 9 out of 23 beams. Honestly, that's a good get, and we have more than enough planks and posts. Alright, so now we have a lot more room for a lot more people. Let's go ahead and rebuild the Eye of Odin. It was in the fort acting as bait, but since update 2, the eye actually is now upgradable, which is really cool. I'm thinking actually about having it right outside the Longhouse. It gives a pretty big housing bonus, so that'll be really helpful when the Longhouse is full of people. Oh, you know what? The blueprint looks a bit wonky on the edge there, so let's cancel that and bring out the ground a little. And this is something I was going to do anyway when we get to the decoration bit, so it's fine. Unlike Wanda, I have a vision. Let's summon someone before I upgrade it, because I don't know if you can actually interact with it while it's being upgraded. I guess we're going with like our 5th green thumb. At this point, I could probably make an epic farming area. All right, that's done. So let's go upgrade this bad boy. Now the fun begins. Landscaping. That is so cool. You know, besides the Jotun blood cuts, it really is quite cheap to upgrade. Oh, speaking of, actually, let's go grab some more. Ragnar is here, and I'm wondering... Yeah, actually, I can summon while upgrading. That's cool. Who will be next? Nana here is good at fishing, and with the lack of herbivores, I am actually thinking of moving into that in the next episode or so with a little fishing community, so she would be ideal. Oh, I just found a Draugr greatsword in the back garden here. I mean, it's useless stat-wise, but it looks cool. Tier 2 eye done. One more upgrade. Holy moly, that image looks amazing. I can't wait to see the model. As for the Draugr sword, I guess I could pop it on the weapon rack and then someone may be able to use it. I mean, it will be better than a wooden club at least. That looks so cool though. Oh, my morning corpse harvest has been interrupted by Uber Eats Wolf Edition. Always the coal maker. The wildlife out here really hate the coal maker. I feel like that was a bit easy. Game, come on. Send me a Fenrir or something. Okie dokie. So what I'm envisioning, you know, through the fog, is a nice clean edge up here that we can fence off. The same way that we did the Runestone district below. So I'm just going to go drag out a quick 2x10 as the very edge. And if that works, we'll fill in the middle afterwards. Hopefully we'll get larger than 20 cell terrain tools in the future. Oh, I actually have to leave my villagers do that since I broke my home. Not a problem. I should have one in the workshop. Yes, I do. Nice. I also need this road maker. Oh, wow. The fog just evaporated away. There's another bear spawning in my fort, so I'm guessing player-made structures do not stop enemy spawns. Oh my god, that poor villager was trapped inside with the bear. Run, dude, I got your back. Where's this fuzzy bastard going? Okay, she must really hate that fence. Okay, let's pop down the hunter flag so my hunter can come and harvest up the bear. That'll do. Alright, home again, and the landscaping is done. It actually looks kind of cool from down here. Alright, so let's fill in some of the middle. And let's also grab another villager while we're here. Lots to do. Lots to do. Okay, with that out of the way, let's see how close we are to the resources needed for the extension. Wow, 20 already. That's really, really fast. All right, let's do it. First extension is a go. Okay, it took a bit of fiddling, but do you see that line down the center of the floor? Make sure that lines up with the same line inside your main building. You can see the line I'm talking about here. It runs on the right side of the door all the way to the back. If you don't match it up, your interior won't match, and if you're anything like me, it will grind all your gears. There it is. Longhouse done, dusted, and downright amazing if I don't say so myself. I'll put the beds in later. I really want to get started on some more landscaping. I have that landscaping itch. So time for fencing, leveling, and a lot of patience. Okay, after a bazillion hoes, we're mostly flat. I like the idea of another wooden altar up here for people to hang out at. The Raven altar is also really, really cool. I never actually built it, but it actually comes with a decent housing bonus, so I don't see why not. All right, now for the least fun part. I've been trying to keep an eye on my villagers' pathing so that I can make a nice road for them. So starting at the arch, let's move up towards the hill. Then we have to figure out a way up. Oh, come on, I'm in the middle of something. All right, I'm just going to bang this blood moon now. Edit a Bucky, do the fast put. Alright, it is morning again. I'm healed up, mostly. So now, let's get rid of this cottage and use all of this thatch here to build the beds inside the longhouse. And now that we've opened up this whole area, let's get a bit more landscaping done. Or, actually, rather than move all these resources, we can quite easily reuse them for a healer's hut, which again, gives a nice housing bonus and looks really cool. Alright, while the builders handle that, let's handle this nonsense hillside. This is gonna take a while. Hey, it works! Oh, kind of. Alright, let's wrap up the top here with some more fences and plants. Oh my god, I love this. And now we can sprint from the workshop area, past the cooking hut, the runestones, all the way up the hill and back home. That is so cool. And all the flowers and trees are done. The lamps are basically finished. I love this. I love this. Well, there's still a lot more to do over there at the industrial area, something to look forward to, but I'm going to go ahead and leave this episode here. So thank you all so much for watching. If you've enjoyed your time here, then please consider grabbing a sub, dropping a like, or leaving a comment. And I'll see you in the next episode. Cheerio.